sensitive ass that just came out of this little, I don't know where they come from, but niggas be getting wild emotional. Niggas be turning into big super police. Just be trying to have fun.
Busta ever try to front me, hit you with no delays to what you saying, yo. Silly with that 9 milli, but there we go. Yeah, I can hit better than him. You better not play with me. I will and perform Busta Rhymes, yo.
Do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now.
I'm walking through the crowd and somebody grabs my hand. Just softly put their hand in my hand and just hold it. So I look, and I see this big chain that said flip mode. I look up and it's Busta Rhymes.
I'm saying, they call them fun boys. They say we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't.
Busta Rhymes is reportedly furious and allegedly threatening 50 Cent over some incriminating footage set to be revealed in 50's upcoming Diddy documentary. For years, 50 has been collecting receipts on Diddy and his infamous FO parties, but now, it looks like Busta might be caught in the mix. Sources claim that actual footage exists showing Busta deeply involved in these wild gatherings. This comes after Busta's former bodyguard, Big Homie CC, exposed his alleged lifestyle, claiming Busta has had a preference for fun boys for years. According to Big Homie, club promoters would arrange young men to entertain Busta in VIP whenever he showed up. Now, it seems 50 Cent might have the proof to back those claims. Insiders say the documentary includes footage from a party where Busta and Diddy were engaged in a full-blown freak-off with multiple men, some of whom were reportedly former workers on Diddy's payroll. But that's just the beginning. Several men have since come forward, accusing Busta of making inappropriate advances. They allege that whenever they crossed paths with him, he was persistent about inviting them to party in a manner similar to Diddy's notorious gatherings. With 50 producing this documentary for Netflix, Busta's alleged threats aren't likely to stop anything. If anything, he may have just secured himself a bigger spotlight in the film. The sudden panic raises questions: what exactly does 50 have on him? Why is Busta reacting so strongly? At this point, it's looking like he might be the next industry figure to get fully exposed. The real question is, how deep does this go, and what's about to come to light?
Busta, I got to ask you, there has been so much going on in the music industry pertaining to Diddy. How closely are you paying attention to his case, the allegations?
I don't pay attention to none of it. I just kind of like to pay attention.
With all the drama and accusations surrounding Busta Rhymes, you already knew 50 Cent wasn't going to stay quiet. Before hitting the stage with Busta at the Humor and Harmony Comedy Fest, 50 joked that he was worried Busta might show up wearing that infamous yellow outfit from the 1999 MTV VMAs. He even posted a throwback photo of Busta in the eye-catching fit, saying, Busta fired back by posting an AI-generated image of 50, captioning it, "I keep telling y'all the blessings don't stop, so we ain't never gonna stop. I thought it was Father's Day, 50 Cent, and you out here looking like this. Don't let me find out this how you be in the mirror, preparing your look for Shreveport." At the time, it seemed like playful trolling, but now, sources claim 50 was dead serious, and he might actually have some explosive footage of Busta with Diddy. But before we get into that, let's address the VIP allegations. If you haven't heard, Busta's former bodyguard, Big Homie CC, recently sat down with the Art of Dialogue and called Busta a super zest monster. He claimed that for years, Busta has been moving real suspect around young men. According to Big Homie, this has been an open secret in the industry, especially among club promoters. Allegedly, anytime Busta was booked for a party, promoters already knew what was up. They had to make sure his VIP section was fully stocked with asterisk entertainment. Asterisk with 50's documentary on the horizon, it looks like things are about to get even messy.
You talking about Busta Rhymes before?
Oh yeah.
Some of your videos.
Oh yeah. Super zest monster. For sure, bro. That's my thing, bro. Like, this been common knowledge though. Like, all my promoter homies would always say, man, you know, we gotta bring some we gotta bring some, what they call them. I'm not gonna say it over there. They call them fun boys. They'll say we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Cause you know, I bodyguarded for Ghostface Killer before. You feel me? And being around him, you hear things. You feel me? I'm like, damn. And my auntie like the biggest Busta Rhymes fan. You feel me? Like, every cookout she playing it. All his little fast rapping, all of that, him and Craig Mack.
Big Homie also spilled on a wild night in the club involving actor-model Don Benjamin and one of Don's friends, a gay man. According to Big Homie, the moment Busta Rhymes locked eyes on this man, it was go time. He claimed Busta wasted no time snatching the guy into his VIP section and wouldn't let him leave. Big Homie said Busta was all over the man the entire night, making sure he stayed close. And apparently, this wasn't a one-time thing. According to him, club promoters already knew the drill. Whenever Busta showed up, they had to round up the finest men for his section. Because once Busta locked in on someone, it was a wrap.
Bro, on my soul, I'm out with a group of people. At this time, I was with Don Benjamin. You familiar with him?
No, I never heard of him.
Model dude, like a model guy. He be doing like some rapping and stuff. His name Don Benjamin. I'm out with Don Benjamin. And the club we ended up going to, Busta Rhymes in there. So it was a little lawyer guy that was with us. And the little lawyer guy we was with, you know, he was a gay dude, super cool, feel me, good guy. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us. But I know he was in the little group. So if I go out with somebody, like a group of people, I try to make sure everybody get there together and leave together. He stayed with them. He stayed in there with them, bro. For sure. You ain't never heard about this before, have you? Bro, this is common knowledge. If you in the mix, if you in the mix, like I've been in the mix.
Big Homie claimed Busta was all over the man, calling him cute all night, and once he had him in VIP, there was no way he was leaving.
So, I hear somebody say, oh, he's cute, I want him. So when I heard that, I turned around like, man, did he just say that? You got all this jewelry to attract some men in here? You wild. Shocked me. But sure enough.
And that was the guy that Busta Rhymes pulled back?
Pulled him into the section. And then they walled him off like this man. I'm like, damn. And that little dude was so happy, he couldn't believe that.
Now here's where it gets even wilder. According to Big Homie, the industry has been aware of Busta's real preferences for over a decade. When asked why no one ever exposed him, Big Homie said, it's simple, everybody wants to be in that VIP section with Busta. But then, he dropped another bombshell that doesn't get nearly enough attention, Busta's alleged history of putting his hands on women. He even hinted at a deeper reason behind it. According to Big Homie, like many DL men, Busta might be carrying some resentment toward women.
How long has it been like this known about Busta Rhymes?
Oh, I knew about this like in 2012. I knew about this in 2012.
How come you think nobody else speaks up on it or says anything?
Because, bro, these people admire these people so much. They want to make sure they in the section, they at the club, they at the video shoot, they can get backstage. That matters most to them. That matters so much to people. It's crazy. Like, but if you notice, like, there's countless videos of Busta Rhymes getting mad at females for just being girls. This girl touched him one time, he go crazy, throw a drink on her and everything. See what I'm saying? Like, what? Why you getting mad at females? You go to these guys, they in the club, go to their section. It's all men in the section. That ain't weird to nobody. I'm going to the bar, sorry. Text me if it get dangerous. But there's all this club security in here, like nothing's finna happen. Nobody wanna keep your ass, bro. Like, when I get jobs from people who really got a threat on their life, I move way there. But man, you ask, bro, anybody that's in the mix, bro, like you know, bro. Most of these dudes, bro, putting on a major act. They don't wanna be themselves.
It's crazy.
They'll get mad at you for buying bottles of champagne to get a girl. They'll get mad, oh, we don't want these bottle rats in our section. What are we here for? Why are y'all here then? What are y'all here for? Just because y'all got booked to be here, okay, but sometimes they not booked. They just in there. So what they looking for, it ain't gonna be what you thinking of, oh God.
If you think this is just one bodyguard stirring the pot for clout, think again. A whole lineup of men has come forward with their own wild Busta stories. Back in 2020, social media personality Trip Ollie took to YouTube, claiming Busta tried to pick him up in NYC while he was heading to a Halloween party.
I'm walking, New York City, going to a club. It was Halloween weekend, everybody was out. And it was this party we was going to, me, my boy, and his friend that had came in from Detroit. And I'm walking across the street and Busta Rhymes just grabbed my hand. And he holding my hand. Now I ain't know it was Busta at first. Busta Rhymes tall. I'm sure I came up to about right here. So the first thing I noticed was this big flip mode chain that was blinding me. So I look at the chain and I look up, I'm like, oh, what's up, Busta? What's up? Now he holding my hand the whole time. I'm like, what's up, man? Like, what you doing? And I was like, oh, me and my people, we about to go to this club around the corner. What's up, man? And then I noticed throughout my peripheral vision, the side eye, this big bodyguard in black. Just standing there, looking around, looked at me, still looking around. Meanwhile, Busta still got my hand in his hand.
Trip said Busta personally invited him to VIP, and at first, he thought it was just a regular club situation. However, things quickly took a turn and became much more interesting than he expected.
Says, I'm about to go in this club. We got a section. You can come in with me if you want. And I'm like, word, for real? Like, that's what's up. Like, he was like, yeah. I was like, well, I gotta, tell my people. I was like, I come in, you know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, just let me know, tell them that you coming in there to meet with me and come on up. And I was like, bet. So, of course I'm excited, you know what I'm saying? Busta Rhymes is one of my favorite artists.
Trip's night took a wild turn when he got into a heated argument with his friend, who wasn't feeling the idea of hitting up Busta's party. Things escalated quickly, turning into a full-on fight. Shaken by the drama, Trip scrapped the club plans altogether. To make matters worse, his friend was on one and ended up leaving him stranded in the middle of NYC. But maybe that was a blessing in disguise. Who knows what could have gone down if he had made it to Busta's VIP. Fast forward to 2021, and the streets were buzzing again. Rumors swirled that Busta was back outside, allegedly trying to pick up men. To add to the chaos, paparazzi reportedly caught him leaving a pride event with a trans woman. And if that wasn't enough, Orlando Brown had the internet in shambles yet again, claiming he had been with multiple industry men, including not just Diddy, but Busta and several others. The industry tea never stopped spilling.
We made love. We made love.
Who you made love with?
Bow Wow, Busta Rhymes.
You just saw me see Busta in the airport too. Never from trying to act like he didn't know you. You smashed Drake?
I never smashed.
Oh, you made love to Drake.
What's that name? Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Usher. Usher's a gusher. And,
What the? Why you not naming them?
I'm telling you, bro. It's my dad's friends. My dad sent his baddest friends on me.
Who's your dad?
Lucifer.
Most people don't take Orlando too seriously when he goes on these rants, but if you pay attention to his more recent interviews, where he seems much more clear-headed, you might start to realize he's actually making a lot of sense. Sometimes, there's truth hidden in the chaos.
Documentary comes out called Quiet on Set.
I never had to work for Nickelodeon. I work for Disney. We don't do those things.
Oh man, not the exhale.
Well, shout out to Nick Cannon. I won't do his money like that. What I will do is I'll say that the owner of Nickelodeon is Jeffrey Epstein. The guy that they've been trying to follow. And okay, now look at the characteristics of everything they said, and then look at everything that he did. I'm not gonna do that to Nick's money though. That's my brother. Like, I'm not doing.
Busta possibly being on the DL is one thing, but what really needs to be addressed is his long history of putting hands on people over the pettiest situations, just like Diddy. His legal troubles stretch back to 2006, when prosecutors tried to hit him with a weapons charge after an incident with a random passerby. And get this, according to Billboard, they claimed Busta had a whole machete stashed in his ride. Fast forward to 2007, and he was in trouble again. This time arrested on a misdemeanor for allegedly roughing up his former driver over a money dispute. He eventually pleaded guilty to both charges and was sentenced to 3 years of probation. But the mess didn't stop there. In 2009, the New York Post exposed that Busta had to cough up $75,000 to a fan who claimed the rapper threw water bottles at him and had his bodyguard punch him in the face, and the reason? The fan said all he did was try to leave Busta's show early. He had pulled up hoping to see Fabulous, but when Fab didn't show, he stood up to head out while Busta was still performing. That's when Busta allegedly snapped, yelling, "Get down. I'm not good enough for you?" Before throwing 2 more water bottles and having his bodyguard attack him. Given Busta's wild temper, it's no surprise he's been close with Diddy since the 90s. But beyond their shared anger issues, these two allegedly have something else in common, a taste for much younger men. And let's be real, Busta's stance on the whole Diddy situation is looking suspicious. When the allegations against Diddy first started bubbling, Busta was one of the first to jump in and tell fans they should reserve judgment.
I got to ask you, there has been so much going on in the music industry pertaining to Diddy. How closely are you paying attention to his case, the allegations?
I don't pay attention to none of it. I just kind of like to pay attention to the truth. I don't really like to speak on situations that I'm not well versed in, and that's not really my situation. You know what I'm saying? But I wish the best for everyone involved. God bless everyone involved. And, you know, I think that we should all kind of be a little more mindful of how much we speak on other things when it's as sensitive as this. People don't keep in mind the effect of what their opinion can have. And I think it's really, really important that we reserve our opinions until we understand what the undisputed truth is.
Have you had the chance to speak to Diddy?
I spoke to him a few times before, like, it got a little out of control. A lot of the times when people are going through things, you gotta respect the space and the privacy that they need to process how they're gonna deal with the things that they're going through. I just wanna see the right end result.
Why even feel the need to say that unless you're low-key defending someone? When we're talking about DVSA and multiple alleged victims, including young ones, telling people to mind their business makes you look real suspect. But fast forward to now, and the Diddy scandal has completely exploded, federal raids, multiple lawsuits, and finally, an official indictment. And suddenly, Busta is acting like he never even knew Diddy. Now he's dodging questions and playing clueless, but let's be real, he won't be able to ignore this for much longer. The streets are saying 50 Cent's upcoming Diddy documentary is about to name names, including Busta Rhymes. And if there's one thing we know about 50, it's that he never forgets. He's one of the rare rappers who flat out refused to party with Diddy, catching on early to the shady business happening behind closed doors. Now, with the truth finally unraveling, Busta might not be able to keep up this act much longer.
Right?
Yeah.
You've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
but I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to the parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated. So
was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal. You go to the 90s and Keefy D said they paid him to Tupac.
Yeah.
So look, like, you get the craziest accusations. You had TMZ created docuseries, they went to Tubi, but the series is saying that.
See, 50 Cent has always been a man who moves strategically. Just because he wasn't in the mix doesn't mean he wasn't paying attention. You already know he was watching from the sidelines, taking mental notes on every rapper who said yes to Diddy's invitations. And now, 50's moment has finally arrived, his time to expose everything. Sources are saying this upcoming Diddy documentary is about to be the industry's worst nightmare. Nobody is safe. The streets have been whispering for years about certain rappers who allegedly freaked off with Diddy, and according to insiders, Busta Rhymes' name is definitely on that list. Now, we still don't have an official release date, but what we do know is that this documentary is being produced by G-Unit Films and Television Incorporated and is set to drop on Netflix. It's also being directed by Alex Stapleton, an Emmy Award-winning filmmaker and executive producer. That means this is going to be high-quality, no-nonsense storytelling, no fluff, just straight facts. And here's where it gets even messier, Busta apparently already knows what's coming. Sources close to him are saying he's been trying to pull some strings behind the scenes, even warning 50 to keep his name out of the documentary. But let's be honest, Busta's warnings probably just made 50 double down. If you know anything about 50, you know he thrives on proving a point. The more you try to silence him, the harder he comes for you. So if Busta is really on that list, there's no way 50 is cutting him out now. Now, the real question is, what is Busta so worried about? If there's nothing to hide, why not just ignore it and keep it moving? So let me know what you think. Is Busta really involved in Diddy's mess, or is his name just being thrown around? And more importantly, do you think 50 Cent's documentary is about to shake the industry to its core? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't miss out on what's coming next.